If you're considering a BioMax red light therapy panel to use as a tabletop device, then you're going to want a stand. In this video, I look at two different stand options from PlatinumLED for the BioMax 300 and the BioMax 400. Hey guys, Alex here from alexfergus.com, and beside me I have two stands. These stands are from PlatinumLED lights. Now these stands are for the BioMax 300 or the BioMax 450. I have a BioMax 300 here. I'll be doing a full review of this. It may already be up. I'm not too sure what the schedule's like, but I'll put a link to that below. If not, subscribe if you want to check out that full review. Now this stand, or its slightly wider, bigger brother, the 450, are great stands to use as tabletop stands. What do I mean by that? Well, as you can see, you can use it on a table while you're working away on your laptop, reading a book, or whatever. You can also use these if you're doing your makeup, or I don't know, all those things that women like to do. Because there are a lot of benefits, skin benefits, beauty benefits to red light therapy when exposed to the face and the skin, especially with the new BioMax panels that now have some blue light in it, the 480 nanometer wavelength. So when it comes to a panel that's going to be used in a tabletop manner, you want to stand. Otherwise you got to lean it against something, and yeah, it just doesn't really work. So most companies come with panels that have kickstands built in, or a stand that comes included with the package, with the price, or you can pay extra for a standalone stand, if that makes sense. I've reviewed a lot of red light therapy tabletop panels, and some stands are basic kickstands that just swing out from the back of the panel. Others are quite elaborate. Others are literally TV stands that work with the panels, and the box even says it's a TV stand. There's a wide range of options out there. PlatinumLED are one of the few companies that have two different options. You do have to pay extra for the stand. I think that's good with this particular panel, because some people could be buying this panel to use on the wall, or as an extra panel to go with their BioMax 600, for instance. So there's no point bundling it all in and then people paying for something they don't need. So what I'm going to talk about in this video is I'm going to look at the two different stand options for the BioMax 300 and the BioMax 450, and hopefully that will help you make a better choice as to what's best for you and your needs. Okay, so first up we're going to look at this, the BioMax Tabletop Stand. I currently have this mounted to my BioMax 300. What do you need to know about this? Well, it sells for $99. I believe discount code Alex will save a little bit of money if you are buying the stand. It's actually quite a nice stand. It's very simple, but it does what it needs to do, and it's quite sleek. So if we have a look at it here, you can see firstly it's quite heavy. I mean, yes, this panel is heavy, but the stand itself is entirely made of metal. It is simply an L-shaped piece of metal painted white with some branding on the back, a hole in the center here for the cable, so you can run your cable out through there, and then it's got the hinge system up the top. The foot is nice and wide and sturdy. I can move this all the way up like so, and it's nice and balanced. It's not going to fall over, and that hinge is strong enough that it'll hold the weight out there. Because of the strength in that hinge, it does make it a little bit resistant to move, but it's actually not that bad. Some of the other tabletop panels I've had with their stands, you really have to brace yourself to move it. This isn't as bad. So you can go all the way down, so it's angled ever so slightly down. Of course, you can have it square, or as we saw before, all the way up like so. I'm not too sure why you'd have it like that, unless it's on the floor perhaps. I'm not really too sure, but most people are going to have it like so, or angling down even. Rather easy to install. It came in a different box. There was quite a large box it came in. I think the box was even bigger than the box that the panel was in. And then it comes with all the supplied screws and Allen keys. It literally was just a matter of lining up the holes, screwing in 4 of these screws, and away you go. It took me maybe five minutes tops. The only concern I guess I would have, well, not concern, but if I were to be picky, I don't know if you'll see this here, but the bracket on the back protrudes ever so slightly off the edge of the panel. It's literally like I don't know, 5 mils. It's very slim. It's really only noticeable when you're looking at it up close on the side. From a distance, you hardly even pick it up. I think they do that so if you get the 450, which is a wider BioMax panel, then you can use the same bracket on that. Of course, if you get the wider 450, that particular issue is not going to be an issue. And the mount on the back is nice that it doesn't cover the fan or the power socket. The cable hole is quite close to where the power point goes in, so it just slots straight through there. You can still access the switch nice and easy. Does what it needs to do. The other option is this. Okay, so that stand or mount is now all installed. It took me maybe, I don't know, 10 minutes to assemble the stand itself, and about 5 minutes to add or to install the stand on the back. Now, I didn't mention it earlier, but this stand actually mounts to a tabletop or a desk or, I don't know, any piece of furniture. You can go quite thick, a couple inches thick, with the clamping mechanism down here. Once that's on, obviously I can move it around. I could put it on the side of my desk or anywhere. Once it's on, you can then adjust the panel to pretty much however you like. So you can raise and lower this piece here. So I can lift it up a few more inches or drop it all the way down. You've then got this pivot arm, so you can bring it out away from the desk, back over the desk. You can raise it and lower it through this piece here, and once you've found your position, I mean, it holds pretty well as is, but if you're using it, if you've found a position where you want to hold it exactly, you can tighten everything up. But as you can see, like, it holds really good, so I can lift it right up or lower it down and it holds firm. Then you've got more pivot points here, so I can angle it like so. I can twist it that way or that way, and I can go up and down. Pretty much you can get any position you really want, which is kind of cool actually. Like, if you had this on, I don't know, your desk, I don't know, I've seen some homes have, some ladies have like really nice little makeup desks. They got the mirror and everything in front of them. I always assumed, you know, you'd use a panel like this with a fixed stand like we just saw before, and just have it sitting there and then move it out of the way when it's not in use. However, you could easily use something like this instead. You have this mounted off to the side. When you want it, you just pull it around, position it however you want it, do your treatment. When you're finished, you can move it away. I mean, I think this is probably sleeker and works just as well for that particular scenario, because this is a little bit ugly, I guess. But you can see the appeal, right? And I know PlatinumLED have been selling these panels in a lot of commercial areas, you know, like health spas, even medical centers. And so in a situation like that, the stand could be really good. Like, the patient comes in, takes a seat, this is all mounted off to the side, and then the doctor or clinician or whoever's doing it can pull it in close, get everything set, and do the treatment, right? Just like you do when, you know, you go to the dentist for an x-ray. That big x-ray machine's on a big arm, it comes down, they position it, and then they push it out of the way. So I can see the appeal there. It's probably more suited for that commercial user. I mean, who knows? If you're watching this and you prefer this stand over that one, let me know. I'd love to hear your reasons. I like this stand in the sense that you can still move it around, you still have your adjustments, tilt adjustments at least, and then you can take it off the table and put it under the desk when you're not using it or whatever. This here, you're kind of locked into this position, though I could very easily unscrew this clamp, move it to another desk and set it up there. Though you'd probably want two people to do it. There is a bit of weight in here, and if I undid that right now, it's all gonna come crashing down. But yeah, you can see the benefits of it. This would be great if you were doing overhead stuff or like areas that you couldn't, I don't know, maybe a little bit trickier to treat, because it does give you so many options in terms of setting it all up. I haven't seen that before in the red light therapy space. And yeah, it's great that you've got options. I mean, if they only did this, it would be like, oh, this is kind of cool, but it's a little bit limited. Look, at the end of the day, they've put both options out there, and both options are going to serve their purpose. The good thing about this as well, I should mention, is, I don't know if you can see it, but there's nice little clips here, so the cable doesn't get all caught up. You just clip it in here, and the cable goes down the bottom. You can still access your control panel, of course, with the new remotes. You don't even have to access the control panel. If you wanted to unmount this and take it with you or put it on this stand or whatever, it's literally 4 screws on the back to take off this bracket, and away you go. One downside, another little downside I should mention with this panel, with this stand, is, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, the bracket on the back here, it still has plenty of space for airflow, but it's a little bit tricky to access the cable and the switch. I can reach through and click the switch there, but it's not as easy as in this stand. And likewise with the cable, I realized when I was building it, I was like, oh, this is going to be tricky to access, so I plugged it all in before screwing it in. You would be able to get it in there. It's just going to be one of those things that you're like, oh, this is a bit fiddly. But hey, once it's in, it's in. So there we go. What are your thoughts? How do these stands compare? Which one is better suited to you? I hope you found this helpful. I just wanted to do a quick video, showing you the options. PlatinumLED do come out with some innovative products, obviously more in the panel itself, but hey, like I said, it's kind of cool that they've provided the market with 2 stand options here. Remember, these stands only work with the BioMax 300 and the 450. I don't know if I mentioned that before, but this stand here, the tabletop adjustment stand option, that is for the 450 or the 300 as well. So they're not designed for the bigger ones. I do wonder if you could put a 600 on here, though I don't know if this is designed to hold the weight. So you could try it, but it might break, and then in which case, don't blame me. But anyway, look, I'm gonna leave it there. Again, thank you for viewing. If you want to check these out, I'll put a link to them below. Any questions, comments, leave them below. If you want to see more of my reviews, check them all out, hit subscribe, and I'll see you another day. Bye.